Welcome to the Pencil Bob channel. I hope you enjoy the story. Remember to like and subscribe, and now the story.
Hey there all, it's your friendly neighborhood Frosty man, dodging thrown drinks faster than the speed of a locomotive. I work as a drive-through operator at night in the Valley of the Sun, Arizona, United States, and have been here long enough to have seen this particular type of MC happen multiple times. I've written about them a couple of times, but I promised myself I would write down and remember this one in particular. We sell these dessert items that are halfway between ice cream and a milkshake. Pretty much a thicker soft serve, called a Frosty. The sizes we offer are large, medium, small and junior. The junior is like a pup cup you'd find at Starbucks, and it tapers, every so slightly, up from there. Our larges and mediums are notoriously LIL that, along with the fact that we offer a biggie bag, I often have to say, baby. But I digress. A man enters the drive-through nicely enough, asking for one medium and one large chocolate Frosty. I see my cups running low for the medium Frosties, so I make an executive decision to issue the man two large Frosties instead. It's his lucky day, right? Wrong. The man approaches the window. My son, who has recently been hired and is now the order collector for my drive-through, is about to take payment when he snatches his credit card back so hard he hits himself in the face. He has now angered himself profusely and then says, "Oh hell nah, I ordered two different size Frosties, my guy. You better get on that shit, man. I swear to fucking God." He sounded very irate, very threatening about the whole thing. Absolutely unnecessary. To top all of this, he throws the credit card back, Gambit style, full force right at my son. If it wasn't for the fact that my Papa Bear kicked in, I would have appreciated the physical display of a card thumping through the air like he's done this many times before. His aim, thankfully, needed a little practice, because it barely nicked my son's arm. Enough to make a mark, though. Now get me the damn Frosties I ordered. Fair enough. Enter malicious compliance. I took the second bigger Frosty, busted the top off and put it in a spoon right next to my, definitely not a cellular device, on the counter. I gave him the fuller, go easy on the Pepsi eyebrows as I did this to indicate that I would, most assuredly, be devouring this large Frosty he relinquished very soon. I then took a significantly smaller medium Frosty cup from the very visible compartment and began filling it with his Frosty, making as much of a show of it as time allowed. With every exaggerated motion I made, I could see this man slowly begin to realize cascade of mistakes he's made, both in assuming I'd try to gyp the customer and assuming that I'd let assault of a minor go unaddressed. I imagine I looked like the Candyman from the original Willy Wonka movie, sprinkling unnecessary candy bits all over the place as I then began to fumble around the ground like Velma from Scooby-Doo looking for her glasses, pretending to have a hard time finding the card he assaulted my son with. It was my biggest challenge. Not only not beating someone to a bloody pulp, but putting on a sarcastically entertaining, annoying display at the same time. We scanned his miracle it wasn't damaged credit card for his one medium and one large chocolate Frosty, and I took over the interaction from there. Just as he was about to speak, I handed him his card, said, "Here's your medium and large Frosties, let him know that he's trespassed from the store, and if he has an issue with it I'll remind the authorities that I have a video of you assaulting my underage son." I ended it with an anticlimactic, "Never come back." Back in the early 2000s, my friend and I were at a bowling alley. As we went out to leave, he couldn't get his car started. I asked if he wanted me to look at it since I have been working on cars since I was 14, and he said no, that he knows as much if not more about cars than I do. So the tow truck arrived. They asked me to steer as they pushed it out of the parking spot. I got in, put it in park, started the vehicle, backed it out, and asked the tow truck driver if he wanted me to drive it onto his flatbed or if he wanted to pull it up. Everyone, including the tow truck driver, burst out in laughter. My friend was livid. "Why didn't you tell me that was the problem?" I said, "You told me you were more experienced than me and didn't need my help." From then on, he never doubted my automotive knowledge. My manager, oversees 16-ish people, completely forgot that I had PTO one morning last week. We had spoken about it the day before too because I had to change the time of my doctor's appointment. The morning of my appointment I wasn't going to clock in till I got back. However, when I got back I found out that he had assigned me to cover part of someone's shift, call center, because they were out sick. I had him asking, we use Microsoft Teams, me to call him in our full group chat, and also DMing me in the same chat we used to discuss the time of my appointment changing and his approval, where I was. The person who oversees that the phones are covered messaging me telling me I was to be on phones and my manager's boss texting me asking where I was. I finally called my manager, video call, and I recorded that too, and reminded him that we had spoken about the time of my appointment being in the morning. He then asked me to text him reminders every time I have PTO now. Well, he's about to learn. I have 2 more days coming up in April and I will clock in for 15 minutes each day to send that reminder text. If I have to do his job of reminding him I am off when there are multiple ways for him to remember, then they can pay me. I was 5 years old when my mom went to the store in which before she left told me not to unlock the door nor open it for anyone. And I waited for her to get back by playing with my cat named Snuggles McCuddles Fluffy Pants for I forget how long. In turn, when mom returned from the store I continued playing with my cat, completely ignoring my mom each time she asked me, "Can you please unlock and open the door," because she left the key to our house in the kitchen? Which she was getting extremely mad while shouting at me, "Just unlock and open the door already or else I'll effing ground you." Until my sister, 12 years, at the time, had unlocked the door for mom. Then a few minutes after my mom calmed down she asked me, "Why didn't you unlock and open the door for me when I asked you to?" In which that's when I simply stated with a sweet little smile on my child face, "Well, you said to not unlock the door nor open it for anyone and that's what I did, mom," resulting in my stepdad snickering at this all the while my mom just stood there speechless as if trying to process what I'd said. It all started when a customer came through the drive-thru, ordering a blended beverage. But this was not a normal order. The customer had modified the drink so much that it was barely recognizable from the original menu item. To make matters worse, there was a child in the back seat who was screaming into the headphones the whole time. The customer did nothing to calm the child down, just spoke louder and louder. I tried to be patient and polite, but I was already annoyed. We had a long line of cars waiting, and I had many more drinks to make. I hoped that this customer would be satisfied with their order and leave quickly. But that was not the case. When the customer drove up to the window, they looked at the drink and complained that it was missing something. It was a topping that was easy to add on top, but the customer insisted that the whole drink had to be remade. I asked them why, as I had followed their instructions exactly. The customer said that it didn't have enough caramel drizzle. Now, the drink they ordered didn't even come with caramel drizzle. They had asked for extra caramel, and I had put a lot of it on the top and around the cup, which was already more than we usually do. But they said they wanted extra caramel, so I had to do it again. I took the drink back and got a new cup. I poured caramel all over the inside of the cup, so much that you couldn't see the drink at all. I also added a 1/4 inch of caramel to the bottom, just in case they wanted more. Then I added extra of the other topping they had requested, and gave them half a container of it on the side, as my manager had told me to do. This was the third to last drink I made, because it was supposed to be my day off and I had come in to help out. The time I had agreed to stay until was already over, and so was the second time I had agreed to stay until. I was ready to go home and relax. I was doing one last task of wiping down the cafe and clocking out, when the customer came back. They stormed into the store, holding the drink in their hand. They were furious. They said that they didn't deserve to have an employee get angry and fill their cup with half syrup. They said that they wanted a refund and a new drink. My manager came over and asked them what the problem was. They showed him the drink and repeated their complaint. My manager looked at them and said, "Well, what do you want? You asked for extra caramel, and it wasn't enough. Then you asked for extra caramel, and it was too much. You need to be more specific about what you are looking for." The customer was speechless. They didn't know how to respond. They just muttered something and left the store, leaving the drink behind. My manager smiled at me and said, "Don't worry about it. You did a great job. You can go home now." I thanked him and left, feeling relieved and happy. I love my manager. He always has my back.
I would like to thank you for watching the video to the end. To encourage us to make more videos, please like, subscribe, comment, as well as share. Check out this other video if you haven't already.